Howdy there, Internet students. This is Mr. Hermanson again. Today we're going to learn how to factor when you have a coefficient of the squared term other than 1. Makes it a little more difficult, but it's kind of fun if you ask me. It's like figuring out a puzzle. So we're going to use the box method. And in this box, you're going to put your 3x squared here, and you're going to put your 2 here. Now, these other two empty boxes, they need to add up to 7x. I'll just put a note up to there. And the other thing you're going to find out is that whatever this product is here, this 3x squared times 2, which is 6x squared, the product will be the same this way. So what we're looking for here is two numbers that multiply to give you 6 and add up to 7. So start thinking of factors of 6. There's 1 and 6, and there's 2 and 3. And we need the ones that add up to 7, so that would be the 1 and the 6. So you're going to put 1x here, and you're going to put 6x here. I'm going to circle that so you remember that. And then I'm going to do my take out the greatest common factor. So for this top row here, the greatest common factor is 3x, so that would go there. Now I can do lots more with that. So now that I know that this is 3x, this has to be x, because 3x times x is 3x squared. Okay, and 3x times 2 is 6, and x times 1 is 1x. So now I have my dimensions, 3x plus 1, and x plus 2. Now you might want to check that, and you could use any one of your methods to do it. You already have this square set up, so just make sure all the numbers are working out, you know, that this number times this number is this number and all of that. All right? Why don't you go ahead and try one, see how you do. Start by making a box. Put your 6x squared here. Put your 5 here. Now these two boxes, diagonal empty boxes, will add up to 13x. And when you multiply these two together, they're going to equal the same as what you get when you multiply these two, which is 30x squared. But I'm just going to remember that it's 30. So you need two numbers that have a product of 30. So start factoring 30 and add up to 13. So think about that. So I hope that went well for you, that you figured out the puzzle. Now, when you have a negative, everything is the same, just have to involve that negative, and I'll show you how that'll work out for us here. So I'll make my little box here, and I'll put my 2x squared here. I'll put a negative 3 here. I know that this diagonal row here will add up to negative 1x, so together they'll add up to negative 1. And I'm going to multiply these two so I know what my target number is for my factors, and that's negative 6. So I need two numbers that have a product of negative 6, and when I add them together, they're negative 1. So basically what I'm saying is the factors are 2 apart. So do I want the 1 and the 6 or the 3 and the 2? And I want the 3 and the 2. And I need the 3 to be negative and the 2 to be positive. So I'm going to put negative 3x in one of these boxes and 2x in the other box. And then I'm going to see now these add up to negative 1. I'm going to factor out a 2x here, 2x times x, 2x times 1, x times negative 3. And just make sure everything's working. 1 times negative 3 is negative 3. And I think I got it. There shouldn't be a negative number there. Oh, yeah, there should, sorry. Okay, so then I got 2x minus 3 for one dimension, and I got x plus 1 for the other. All right, you want to try one of them? So let's start by, wow, this is going to be a big number here, but so we're going to put the 10x squared here. We're going to put the minus 14 there, and then we're going to work it out from there. Well, there you go. That was kind of hard because finding factors of 140 is a little bit harder, but the ones you want are the 35 and the 4. The 35 being the positive one and the 4 being the negative one. All right. So let's apply this. Let's see if we can't figure out what dimensions we could use for the length and the width. And it's giving us one of them, so that's kind of nice. So let's go ahead and put this in and put this in. And we know 1 is going to be x minus 3. Well, that gives us some big hints, huh? So this has to be 4x here. And then negative 3 times 5 is 15, so that has to be a 5. And so this would be a 5x here, and this would be a negative 12x. And yeah, that works out because these two add up to this negative 7x. So the length would be 4x plus 5. All right, you want to try one of them? So here's what I got for that one. All right, moving on. Sometimes you might be able to factor out a monomial first. In other words, all of these have a common factor. So you want to think about what is the greatest common factor of everything and make sure you get rid of that first. The greatest common factor looks to be 2. So I'm going to factor out that 2, and that gives me 15x squared plus 7x minus 4. Now I'm going to use my box to factor the rest of it. This is a minus 4, so 15 times 4 is 60. And I need two numbers that multiply together give me 60 and add up to positive 7. So basically factors that are 7 apart. There's 20 and 3. Those are too far apart. There's 15 and 4. Those are 11 apart. It's not those. There's 10 and 6. Those are 4 apart. It's not those. There's 12 and 5. Those are 7 apart. Those are the ones I want. So, and I need the 12 to be positive and the 5 to be negative. So yeah, I actually should have thought of it as negative 60. And then I'm going to factor out a 5x here. And that'll give me 3x and negative 1. And 3 times 4 is 12x. So here's the total final thing. We have 5x plus 4 and 3x minus 1. So go ahead, you try one of them. So that's what I got. I hope that's what you got also. And I think we're done here. I think you're ready to give it a shot. Try some on your own. And I'll talk to you soon.